got to be joking. I'm trying to work less, and when I think like I'm done for today here in the Netherlands after dinner, I still have to work and talk. Oh boy, look at this. This is breaking news all over the place again. What do we have here? Amber H countersues insurance company. You do have to cover me. So as you know, oh my God, I need just a second to let that sink in. All right. That was a reference, by the way. Says her $1 million insurance policies does, in fact, have to cover her in the trial and verdict, and she's asking a judge to confirm it. The actress countersued the New York Marine and General Insurance Co. after they first asked a judge to let them off the hook for the $1 million liability policy she had taken out to protect her from defamation claims. The argument was based on the fact that the jury found Amber's committed willful misconduct in her defamation of Johnny, and under California law, they say that gives them an out in having to fulfill the policy. In other words, they believe they are not responsible. Well, honestly, I'm not an expert. I'm not a lawyer, but that makes a ton of sense. If you're like, if you have an insurance that is supposed to cover you on the basis that you actually don't commit some type of, crime, or I don't know if it's a crime, but anyway, something illegal. So, in new court docs obtained by this Tums, Amber argues the exact opposite, namely, the New York Marine promised to pay her defense costs and judgment against her up to $1 million no matter what. There is unconditional deal she claims they struck with her, and she says they haven't lived up to their end of the bargain. Wow. So I wonder now, because before she was out of the country and stateless, right? She claimed to be basically homeless. So I wonder now, to do this, if she has to give some kind of paper or address or whatever. You know, there must be some kind of legality where you need to be there in order to do this. Otherwise, you cannot do it from another country. So AH says that in trying to wipe their hands clean, they're turning their back on that agreement, including breach of contract, among other claims. Still, the fact the insurance company pressed the issue now, she meets them on the field and asks the judge to require the insurers to pony up. That means, in other words, to bam bam, chi-ching on the table. Oh boy, what do I think about this? First of all, this person, it's like I have no words, honestly. It feels like it's getting more and more complicated. They're suing each other, continuing to suing. I just want to paraphrase the very person in question here, which at one point she stated, if just Johnny would leave me alone. And I will continue to paraphrase. The sentiment in that statement felt like as if she was trying to say, if only I was left free, away from all these insurance claims and lawsuits and whatnot, I could just live my life. But no, instead, here we go. What I'm trying to say, it seems like somebody's addicted to suing people, and I just had to do that. I just had to give some comedic relief here, because this is getting weird. This is getting strange. I'm like, who is paying who here? Those lawyers that all of a sudden, all those lawyers which they charge like $700 an hour, $1,000 an hour, $1,500 an hour. Who is paying them? Lawyers. I'm talking to you. This is somebody like that seems to have some type of recidivism. That word, recidivo. All right. So, are you sure you're gonna get your side of the jing? Like, everybody here is continuing to sue for her or bring other lawsuits forth. And I'm like, who is paying? Where is all this money coming from? I'd like to know that. That would be very interesting. And this, of course, is just appearing after this infamous already letter of support of those organizations, of those 130 organizations which are supposed to support her. Here we go. I found it already. Some people took to, like doing a little bit of research about that letter, and it turns out that a lot of people involved which signed this letter, actually they're not the professional that they claim to be. You have here in red some of professor of something, and this other here, it's a feminist activist. There is a lot of feminist activists, many feminist activists. Matter of fact, social worker, extreme feminist activist. There was also somewhere, if I recall, also a biased author, like this, author, social worker, feminist activist, journalist, professor of what, we don't know, studied there. This person studied in this place. Congrats? I have no idea. So this is very fascinating because you see social worker, activist, professor of technology, activist, sex trafficking, I don't know why they said that, editor, feminist activist, author. So there is like professor of what we don't know, reproductive health, social worker, author, activist. The majority of these people are activists, which for whatever reason, they go into the category of expert, and this is already backfiring big time. And then you have the journalist that actually propelled this whole letter, which is already pointing the finger to YouTubers and people making content out of these, saying like, you see, this is now another smear campaign. They're going after those people. They're going after them, smearing them, arresting them. Matter of fact, I'll translate it for you what this means. This means that people took the time to call you out because they wanted to make sure that the statement, that which are put out there, they match the facts. So somebody took the time of finding out that actually those 130 experts in reality are not so expert. It's like all of a sudden we present this new plane, right? We have this wonderful new model of a plane, and here we have also the letter of endorsement of 130 engineers for this wonderful plane that we have. And then you realize that out of those 130 engineers, which were supposed to be engineers, there are also 70 window washers. I have nothing against window washers, but when it comes to the technology and techniques of a plane, probably they don't know much about it, all right? So this is what it is. People just calling out the hypocrisy of trying still to fake stuff. Nobody here is after anyone. We don't care about those people in this letter, nor their name or what they do in general with their lives. But we care if you try to sell something for something which is not. That's called fact-checking. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for the support. This never ends. Everybody's suing everybody here. Oh my God. Let's see the end of 2022. Please subscribe. Also here on Twitter if you want. I am there, Frank Valkyria. Thank you.